something that you and I talk about a lot. And I think, we talk about a lot in our friend group too, about both like, how do you move on from like this past kind of trauma? How do you channel it into the work that you want to do? But also, how do you have boundaries with emotions that are just really hard to deal with and really hard to process? And I have always really admired the way that you are able to name something that's hard and also not let it completely eat you alive. You know, it's not because you're putting on a brave face or you're, like there's people who are like, okay, I'm brave, I'm strong, I don't care. I don't really, that stuff doesn't affect me. And that is not your attitude, right? I think that there is a place in community for processing trauma where we can all really model for each other. Here's what's hard about my life. Here are the steps that I'm taking to deal with it. Here's the therapy that I'm in, or here's the healing method that I'm taking, because it's not that therapy is available to everyone. No, thank you, America. Mm-hmm. But I personally just like have found it really, really healthy and also like really healing to be able to talk to other adults about, okay, here was what was hard about my childhood, and here's how that affects me as an adult. And also, I'm not going to dwell on it every day because it cannot destroy my life.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing that I think it's hard to figure out on your own. But when you see other people model it for you, you're like, okay, like we can do two things at once. Love it. Love it. Let's do it.
Yeah. And, it's also kind of about being able to say, like, I feel comfortable and would like to offer this part of my story to perfect strangers. Or to my community. And this is how I plan on doing it, while also taking responsibility for my energy and taking responsibility for the things that come with that. And I think that, a lot of the times what we have in our culture is people who don't consider the responsibility, the things that they need to be responsible for as the sharer.
Ooh, can you say more about that?
I feel like I know a lot of people who, may have like come out of the social media gate really strong, like kind of sharing so much of their lives. And then you'll start to see their narrative shift over time, where they start to kind of say like, so this is eating me alive, or can't believe people are questioning this, or what about this, or if their following grows in a really big way. And, it's like they start to have this weird identity crisis in the space of, the reality of the internet.
Yeah.
And so in that, you just don't take into account that just like, that you're going into a relationship with something like social media or, the internet. Just like when I go into a relationship with my partner, Simon, I don't just go in saying, these are all the things I want from you, or these are all the things you're going to do for me, or this is all the love we have, or da-da-da. You're like, as a grown ass woman, this is what I'm responsible for, right? I'm responsible for my own happiness in a way. You cannot be the person who's responsible for whether or not I'm a happy person.